Hey, what up? It's Will Maker. You ever wonder what all the hype is about with the Fabfilter plugins? Today, I'm going to go over the Fabfilter bundle. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in. Fabfilter was founded in 2004 by Floris Klinker and Frederick Slinkerman in Amsterdam, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Their plugins are favorites by many producers and engineers. Most of the Fabfilter plugins are not based on emulating old hardware and equipment like many other plugin companies. They get their praise and due by the quality of the sound, sleek interface, and ease of use. The first plugin on this list was my introduction to Fabfilter, and that's the Pro L2, and I'll briefly go over the features and what they do. I'm going to start in the advanced section, which is going to have the styles options. You have transparent, which I like when I don't want to add coloring and stay true to my mix. Punch can help create pumping. Dynamic will enhance transients before it adds limiting. I also like all around, which balances loud and transparent. Aggressive, which is a near clipping style, which is used in EDM. The modern style tries to get the best of all the worlds. Bus is to be a bit extreme. And safe, which introduces no distortion. Look ahead is an option available in a lot of Fabfilter plugins. Short is better at keeping transient information and a louder mix, but you'll have to watch for distortion. Longer look ahead and you're safer from distortion, but you lose loudness. In the Pro L2, the attack time is how quick the release will set in. So you can play it safe by using a short attack and long release. Just watch for pumping. A long attack and a short release can get louder, but watch for distortion. So find your balance. You can turn your true peak on or off. Some people like it, some people don't. You have quite a few oversampling options, which can help with aliasing, which are artifacts and distortion. The higher you go though, the more CPU usage this will use. You can turn on or off your dithering. This icon right here in Fabfilter is going to be your global bypass. My output is usually set at a 0.03 when I'm doing music. You can use this for unity gain. This will let me hear my mix at the same volume, so that way any changes that I'm making, I'm not tricking my ears by volume. You have an audition limiting button. You can hear how much limiting is going on here. Up here you have your targets. Now a shortcut in Fabfilter, some of the options are linked, so in this case if I hold shift on the gain, you'll see the output drop. Here's an example with the Pro L2, which is bypassed right now. Tired, this is always just an understatement. I'm tired of learning lessons where I'm headed, future's guessing. My mind it wanders, never Now I'll play with the different styles. Here's the bus setting. Tired, this is always just an understatement. I'm tired of learning lessons where I'm headed, future's guessing. My mind it wanders, never resting in this rat race. We all work hard, but eventually we're all just replaced and time is shown. Here's transparent. Tired, this is always just an understatement. I'm tired of learning lessons where I'm headed, future's guessing. My mind it wanders, never resting in this rat race. We all work hard, but eventually we're all just replaced. And that's just a few examples. Next will be Timeless 3, and that's one of my go-to delay plugins. With Timeless 3, I feel it's really easy to add flavor and it's easy to use. Right here, you have your delay sync button. So if you want to add an eighth note, if you want to add a triplet, here's your options. On this side, you have your ping pong delay effects. Up here, you can actually insert your own delay. So if I click on this, and if I want to delay here. Shook your hand, we agreed to end as friends. Shook your hand, we agreed to end as friends. And then what I really like is down here, you can add some color. So if you want more drive, this is going to help you add some distortion, which lo-fi affects your sample rate and your bit depth. You got your diffuse here. The dynamics knob, which if I turn this to the right, it's going to add compression, and to the left, it's going to be a gate and expansion. And then I also have a pitch shift. Over here, you do have a freeze button as well. You also do have the read mode button here, which toggles between the classic tape delay behavior, which it states here, and time stretching behavior. Right here, we can offset our left and our right channels. And then you can also add modulation to any parameter. Shook your hand, we agreed to end as friends. Future bright seemed to end before began trouble with the promise. Now you're back to cost of profit. Shook your hand, we... And of course, these can be automated. Next will be the Pro C2. I usually use this compressor when I'm looking for something transparent, and it's usually my go-to for side chaining. You have different style options here. The Pro Q is already set with auto gain enabled. You have an auto release option as well. As a tip with any of the Fabfilter plugins, if you ever need the default setting on a knob, just go ahead and hit Command and then click. You have a hold slider that can help you create pumping effects. Your sidechain option is down here. You can also choose which frequency will activate your compressor as well down here. I like the Pro C on vocals, drums, bass, and anything that I'm just looking for a simple transparency. And here's the Pro C sidechain to a kick. So here's without. And here it is sidechained. It's a little bit smoother, almost 3.5 gain reduction here. Here it is if you wanted to smash it. So just a little of what Pro C can do. Next will be the Fabfilter Pro R2, and this is Fabfilter's Reverb plugin. To start, there are two things that stand out for me. One is the decay rate EQ, which is available also in the Pro R1. What this does is allow you to just lower the overall frequency range instead of cutting the frequency. This allows me to still keep the shape without cutting into all my frequencies. The second is the ducking feature. This is a feature that you normally have to automate or sidechain. What it does is while your signal is playing, the reverb is lowered so you still get the clarity of your signal. And then once the signal is done, the reverb has its time to shine. You still have your pre-delay options. Character helps your decay sound more interesting and adds modulation. You have a thickness knob. The distance knob to the left will bring you closer to your signal, and then to the right takes you further away. You have a brightness knob, and a brighter reverb is to the right, and a darker reverb is to the left. Auto gate feature. Here's a Pro R and some vocals.
Here we are, I thought we never meet again. Shook your hand, we agreed to end as friends.
So we can add some ducking. I'll go ahead and I'll drop about, actually we'll just do about 200 of the decay EQ. Take some of the lows out without EQing it.
Here we are, I thought we never meet again. Shook your hand, we agreed to end as friends. Future bright seemed to end before began. Trouble with the promise, now you're back to causing problems.
So just a few other things that I like about the Pro R2. Next on my list is going to be another favorite of mine from Fabfilter, and that's Saturn 2. One thing I really like are all the options for the saturation types. You have options to touch up to destroy. The next thing I find really useful are you have up to 6 bands. These also provide crossover points. There are times when I don't want my low end to be affected with an 808, for instance. So what I can do is I can just insert, turn off the low end. Now it won't be affecting anything under 120 Hertz. And now I can just focus on all the frequencies above. You have a mix knob here, frequency knob, your frequency feedback knob, your dynamics knob, which once again, if you turn to the right, it's going to add a little bit more compression, and to the left, it's going to add gate and expansion. You can also fine tune any of the parameters by holding Command, and if you move, it'll go a lot slower, so that way you can actually hit the frequency you want to go to. Saturn 2 also has a ton of modulation options, so if I want to add some modulation to the drive, Saturn 2 offers great options for something simple to complex. Here's Saturn 2 on some vocals. This is bypassed.
Backs against the wall, all the doubt inside.
I like the saturation if I want some distorted sounding vocals.
Backs against the wall, all the doubt inside.
Or if I just want something subtle.
Backs against the wall, all the doubt inside. All the fight that's left, that's drained from my soul, I'm down at the bottom, drowning in with my problems. Back.
It also works great on kicks, 808s, piano. So as you can see, the interface is easy to use, and it's easy to see why Fabfilter is the go-to for so many pros. Next is going to be the Pro DS, and it's an easy-to-use DeEsser. If you're not sure what a DeEsser is, it helps tame your S's and T's and sibilants from popping out. You have your range knob, which maxes up to 24 dB. This is how much you want your sibilants to duck. And then you have your threshold. The graph makes it really easy to see where your sibilance is.
Thought we never meet again. Shook your hand, we agreed to end as friends. Future bright.
You can listen to the frequency area with this audition button. You have single vocal, which is recommended for single vocal usage. All around is more for an entire mix, and DeEsser is the area set by your high and low pass filter sliders, which are located right here. Wideband lowers the sibilance of your overall signal. Split band is more for an entire mix, and high pass is the high pass frequencies. You can also sidechain and offers mid and side processing as well. And of course has a look ahead. Here's the Pro DS bypassed.
Here we are, I thought we never meet again. Shook your hand, we agreed to end as friends. Future bright seemed to end be.
And here's with the Pro DS.
Here we are, I thought we never meet again. Shook your hand, we agreed to end as friends. Future bright seemed to.
You'll notice when it says to be end as friends, the T really pops out. So with the Pro DS, you'll notice that that doesn't stick out anymore.
Here we are, I thought we never meet again. Shook your hand, we agreed to end as friends. Future.
And that's with about 4 dB of gain reduction. Next is going to be the Fabfilter Multiband Compressor, and that's going to be the Pro MB. This has a lot of the same features as the Pro C, but with the Pro MB, you have 6 bands. You also have a solo button that can isolate a frequency. You have a mute button. I really like using the solo button on vocals so I know which frequency I'm compressing and I can actually hear it. I really like to use this to sidechain my kick and my bass when needed, and I really like to balance my vocals with it. You also have a phases option down here, oversampling. You can engage look ahead down here. You also have some analyzer options here, which ones you want on and off. And as with any multiband compressor, just be careful. You can destroy your mix really easy with this. Here's the Pro MB on some vocals. This is the effect bypassed.
Here we are, I thought we never meet again. Shook your hand, we agreed to end as friends.
Have one band here at about 140, another one at about 900, and 6K.
Here we are, I thought we never meet again. Shook your hand, we agreed to end as friends. Future bright seemed to end before began. Trouble with the promise, now you're back to causing problems. Here we are, I thought we never meet again. Shook your hand, we agreed to end as friends. Future bright seemed to.
And that's just one way I like to use the Pro MB on vocals. Next is going to be Volcano 3. Volcano 3 is a filter, but with way more options. Volcano 3 allows you to have 4 different filters. Each of these are also independent. They each have their own different style as well. So if you want to add one here and a different one here. You also notice that each of these filters are numbered, and you can change their routing by clicking down here. We can modulate our parameters down here. This can be used as a great creative tool. Next, I'm going to go over the Fabfilter Twin 3 and its Fabfilter synth plugin. Over on the left, you have all your sine and wave shapes. You also get 4 oscillators. Just like most Fabfilter plugins, you can modulate these as well. Over on the right-hand side, you have all the effects that you can add. Your arpeggiator is down here. The high quality button is enabling oversampling. Your poly options are here. This unison spread feature controls the detuning of all the voices. You have styles mode on each of the bands. So if you like Fabfilter's workflow, the Twin 3 could blend easily into your own workflow. So we can add some delay. And that's just a little bit of the Twin 3. The Pro Q3 is probably the one that needs no introduction. This has won countless awards and has a huge fan base in and out of the industry. The Pro Q3 has 24 bands and is pretty transparent. You can also change the shape here. You can also invert the gain. You can also change the slope here. This offers mid and side processing as well. You can show the keys down here. Another thing that you can do, and this works with most Fabfilter plugins, is if you just want to put in the key that you want this frequency to be in, really easy to do. You can make any band dynamic by either clicking here or just come down here, click and hold. This has an automatic threshold, but if you want to go ahead and adjust that, you can do by clicking there. Easy to see why that this is one of the top EQs. The last three plugins are what Fabfilter calls their basic plugins. You have the Fabfilter 1, which is a basic synthesizer plugin with one oscillator, and it's based on the likes of the Korg MS-10. Then you have Simplon, which is a simple version of Volcano 3. And lastly, Micro, which is a basic filter. So that's an overview on the Fabfilter total bundle. Fabfilter does offer additional bundles. The price tag's a little steep, but they do offer a 50% educational discount. They also do offer a summer and Black Friday discount, and usually it's 25% off. So if you like content like this, please feel free and like and subscribe. Other than that, peace out.